This story is about a girl who had one incredible talent. She could remember almost everything she saw at least once. Among all the books she read, she liked Heal Me Lady the most. Then the events are transferred to the main character's dream. At that moment, a woman comes in and calls Lady Jorinda Maleficent. Then it turned out that that woman was Anna. Anna was a maid. Lady Maleficent is a villain from Heal Me Lady. Somewhere in this moment, the girl finds out that she dreams as if she is in a novel, and the time coincides with the beginning of the novel. At the beginning of the novel was admission to the academy. The main character and Jorinda studied at the same academy. At the academy, the teacher teased Jorinda and sent her to the stadium to walk 3 laps with a goose step. The girl calmed down only because it was a dream, but then she was surprised that she felt pain. After a week of suffering, it dawned on her that this was not a dream. The girl began to think about how to get out of here, because she did not want to live her life pointlessly. Her villainous character Jorinda was executed. Her thoughts were interrupted by the teacher, who again sent her to walk with a goose step. The girl decided that the only way out was to complete the plot and be executed. A plan to sneeze at the original story was also considered, to lure all men to her side and live a long, peaceful life, but this plan was quickly recognized as unrealistic. Jorinda was beautiful, but not as beautiful as the main character of the novel, Serena Eleanor. Dare to follow the plot was not easy. After all, Serena was too kind. But still there was no choice. Jorinda's family is the most influential in the empire. The imperial family betrothed them to the prince to maintain power. That was before the girl entered this reality. It is impossible to dissolve a marriage without a serious reason. And the prince will fall in love with another and nothing can be done about it. The girl repeated the plot, as she had no other choice. Jorinda hurt Serena. Jorinda was helped by her family, especially her brother who loved Serena, but she refused him. Serena, who after stealing Jorinda's fiancé will get all the power, was not a friend of Maleficent's family. And the father and other family members used Jorinda as a shield and committed their crimes. The girl felt sorry for Serena. She didn't want to trouble her, but she followed the plot. Jorinda Maleficent is a criminal. The prince broke off the engagement with Jorinda and sentenced him to death for causing the damage to his beloved. And then the main moment came, the execution. Father and brothers abandoned Jorinda to her own devices. At the execution, according to the plot, Jorinda shouted that she hated Serena, but the girl said in her mind that she liked Serena very much. After the execution, the girl's expectations did not come true. She thought she would either enter reality or die, but in fact she ended up back in Jorinda's body at the beginning of the story. The girl was left with the feeling of a sharp blade. The girl understood that if she was a villain, she would return to the past. She decided to live a normal life. Jorinda even attended the wedding of the prince and Serena. But after the wedding, the prince decided to execute Jorinda, because he did not need a second wife. They talked with the prince a little more, but as a result Jorinda was executed anyway. And now the girl wakes up again in Jorinda's body. Everything was the same as last time. Anna combed Jorinda's hair and told her something. Anna was the one who stayed with Jorinda until the very end. She helped Jorinda bully Serena, and was even executed as well. With many lords interested in Jorinda, Anna advised them to turn them all down and let it be known that she already had a fiancé. At that moment, the girl had the thought in her head that this groom would betray her immediately when he saw Serena, but at the same time, looking at Serena, she understood what he had done. The problem is the prince's personality. Anna then reminded that Maleficent's family would be watching her every move. Crown Prince Noah and Duke Maleficent, the most evil people in the girl's life. She even thought of running away, but realized that it was a hopeless idea. Prince and Duke Maleficent are good villains. The girl decided that if death awaits her regardless of her actions, then she will do what she wants. Anna dragged Jorinda to her father, even though she didn't want to. The girl spoke defiantly to her father and even almost agreed with her father that he would give her money. And so Jorinda is at the academy. Of course Anna reminded her to write letters. The girl sat down by the fountain and mumbled how she pushed Serena into it, until Serena herself came up. Jorinda was a little scared, but Serena immediately apologized. It seemed strange to the girl, because in the original plot, Serena was the last to come to the banquet. Irinda then asked the Sarans if something had happened. Serena politely asked to be shown the way to the banquet hall. The girls decided to communicate without formalities. We got to know each other immediately. When Irinda introduced herself, Serena immediately knew that Irinda was the prince's bride. But Irinda said to ignore it. Then they chatted a little more. It turned out that both of them have the same specialization, that is, magic. They are both happy to be classmates. Here they have already come to the banquet hall. Since there was still some time left, the girls decided to go for a walk, pouring things in the hall. Opening the door, Irinda saw the prince. Serena asked if anyone was inside. Irinda said no, there must be a dog barking somewhere. And they went from there. Irinda wondered if there was a way to separate Serena from the prince. But she understood that sooner or later Serena will fall in love with the prince, and she will be executed, and she will return to the beginning again. Her thoughts were interrupted by Saran, asking if something was bothering her. Irinda replied that everything was fine. Serena said that she has a talent. And here the girl mentions that in the novel Serena had a talent for reading the emotions of others. But according to the plot, Serena did not like to talk about her ability. With the help of this ability, they become close to the prince. After that, Irinda said that if Serena doesn't want to tell for the talent, she doesn't have to. Serena gave Irinda a flower and said that the color of its petals resembled the color of her eyes. It's time to go to the banquet. The girls returned to the hall. Then the prince began to approach them. The girl was surprised, because the prince did not behave exactly as in the plot. The prince grabbed Irinda and dragged her behind him, began to talk to her, and even threatened her with execution. But Irinda took the initiative into her own hands. Confused the prince, because she knew everything about him. That he entered the academy by inciting a fight, and that he would not receive support from the royal family during his time at the academy. The prince said that if this continued, Irinda would receive her punishment after her release. After the dialogue was over, Irinda said that she would go first, and jokingly asked if the prince would find his own way. As a result, they were both late for the induction ceremony, but only Irinda was punished. She was outraged. The girl wanted to turn the prince's life into hell. Well, at least luckily she remembered the magic of increasing physical strength. Arriving at the stadium, Irinda saw a boy. She asked if he was Reynold, who had received a fencing scholarship. He ignored her. In the original plot, there are no scenes where Irinda talks to anyone other than Serena. This boy was a knight who protected Serena silently. He is a secondary character who was never able to tell Serena about his feelings. He is Reynold Watson. Irinda asked if the boy was late for the ceremony yesterday or just overslept. He asked her in response if she was not tired of walking with a goose step and at the same time talking. The girl was happy with the answer, because he at least spoke and answered that it was her legs that were tired. Irinda sat down, but the boy was moving at that moment, and she asked him to chirp, but it was all in vain. Then the girl did not want to use magic so that it would not be detected, but she used it anyway. However, she caught up with him and they started a dialogue. During the dialogue, they got to know each other and learned about each other. The girl lied a little. But she was very worried, because Reynold does not like liars according to the law. Reynold told Irinda that she should take up fencing. And again, it did not coincide with the original plot. Young people exchanged information about which classes they are from. It turned out that they are from different. The boy suggested that Aaron should think carefully and transfer to his class in the middle of the semester. But she said no, because she even held a long sword in her hands. Reynold said he could help her. He then said that she would make a good swordswoman and that it was a shame that such a talent was being lost. Irinda said she felt bad. Reynold said he could see that Irinda was not telling the truth. And then Serena appears, bringing a wet towel for Irinda, although Irinda didn't like fencing either, a boy who believed that if a girl trained with him, she would like it. Irinda immediately agreed. Reynold said that the training starts from tomorrow. At school, Serena was worried about Irinda and they agreed that Irinda would not overwork herself in training. When the bell rang, Irinda said it was time to go to class. Serena was surprised that Irinda knew the rules of the academy so well. In her mind, the girl thought, sure, I've been studying here for 2 years, but Serena said that the fact is that her brother is studying here. Serena said that she saw a boy with yellow eyes today, he winked at her and all that, but it turned out that he was Irinda's brother. The events are then transferred to the classroom before the lesson. Suddenly, Wilson called Irinda and said that the Crown Prince was looking for her. The girl went to talk to him, because she had something to say. The prince said he was worried about her legs. She tried to remind him that she was punished because of him, but he answered rudely. She closed the door and left. And here she met her classmate Luke Oscar. I will be grateful for a like. Have a good day.